Oh, got it. Perfect. Perfect. Thanks. Okay, I'll sort it out. That's fine. I'll talk about it. So 353 for now. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Toyota Stadium. A shot outside Toyota Stadium at Worldwide Technology Park. As the sun sets in St. Louis, we're ready for USL Soccer. St. Louis FC hosting Ottawa Fury FC. It is coming up next. You see the crowd here in St. Louis, and it is an enthusiastic crowd at Toyota Stadium at Worldwide Technology Park. I'm Drew Felios alongside Eddie Rodriguez. St. Louis and Ottawa should be a fun matchup here tonight. And Eddie, we have got a sellout crowd on hand.
That's right, Drew. Two teams that want to keep adding points into this USL early, tournament. So, of course, Ottawa visiting St. Louis FC. And, of course, you see the supporters who will come to support their team, and it's going to be a good match. Two teams that play very offensive.
And there you see one of the stars we're going to be watching for Ottawa, Sida Sione. 5 preseason goals. He's had a fabulous preseason. Now will it translate fully into the regular season?
Well, that's what you hope for, especially when you're a forward, trying to put the ball in the back of the net. For him, it's about, getting it done on a consistent basis. After all, that's how we judge forwards. How many assists, how many goals you have for him. It's about, coming into the St. Louis field and able to put some balls in the back of the net.
And for St. Louis, we're going to be talking about several different stars. Gorick, the goalie, was exceptional last week and not allowing a goal against Louisville City. He will be one to watch. And this is a hungry team out of St. Louis looking for their first win at home here tonight. It's St. Louis taking on Ottawa. We've got the kickoff coming up next. The dawn of a new day here in St. Louis FC, led by their new head coach. We're going to talk about him in just a moment. They host the Ottawa Fury here tonight at Toyota Stadium at Worldwide Technology Park. There's Ottawa's starting lineup. Dos Santos up top, tremendous player. Callum Irving also the goalie. Jonathan Barden, Shane McKelney wants to watch, and Roseboom also in the midfield with Campbell. Eddie, this is a solid lineup.
Especially coming out with the very traditional 4-3-3, playing away from home. That tells you that they're coming into St. Louis to get a result. Of course, keep your eye on Dos Santos, one of the best forwards in the league. Eddie Guerrero's on the right, just making good runs. Very good technical team. They're going to use the width. Playing with 3 forwards, of course, you count with the ability of getting crosses, getting some numbers into the box. Don't forget Ramon Martin del Campo, one of the best defenders as well, just securing the flat back 4 in the back.
Meanwhile, St. Louis FC, a talented lineup of their own. You know, there's only 3 players on the roster this year that were on the team last year. Almost a completely different unit Gorick, the goalkeeper, is the leader, but guys like Velasquez and Petrosevich we're going to be calling also throughout the 2 hours.
Well, when you bring a statistician like Preki, of course, a very good player in his time, you're going to bring players like Stoichkov right in the middle and look for him to change the face of this franchise. You talk about bringing different players. Petrosevich as well, one of the forwards for St. Louis, very good on the ball, very tricky. I expect this team to go, forward, trying to get early goals in this game.
St. Louis wearing the all-white tonight. And they are ready to get things going. Coming off a draw last week. Did not score a goal against Louisville City. No goals in that game. Looking to get the offense going here tonight. Meanwhile, on the other side, you've got Ottawa and their first year in the USL. Coming from the NASL, a team with something to prove. They want to prove they can play at this level, and that this is not a team adjusting, that they can hit league play in stride.
Right away, Ottawa just playing the ball into that corner. They have the advantage of playing three forwards, and of course, St. Louis playing with a little bit more of a traditional 4-4-2 for Preki, and the difference is, of course, having an extra midfielder for the St. Louis side against the three midfielders from Ottawa.
St. Louis FC 8, 10, and 12 last year. So St. Louis on the attack in the white in the second minute. Great to have you with us, Drew Felios, alongside Eddie Rodriguez. This game should be played at a furious pace from the start, and we see that here in the opening minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty fast game, especially the fact that they're playing in turf, so the ball's going to roll. It's going to skip a little bit further than normal, and that if you have the St. Louis cold climate as well, these guys are going to be able to run all night.
Crowd settling in here. It is a gorgeous night for soccer here at Toyota Stadium at Worldwide Technology Park. So first goal kick for the Ottawa Fury. Played inside the center circle. St. Louis, team that made several changes in the offseason, beginning with their head coach, Preki. Eddie, somebody that you're very familiar with, and he just brings such a new pedigree to this franchise. They're hoping to build on that this season.
Absolutely. Preki was a great player in his time. I played with him in Kansas City a couple of years. As we see this foul in the box, referee giving it to St. Louis defender. That's better.
There you take a look at the fabulous goalie, Gorick.
But I think what Preki brings to the table is the fact that he was a very offensive player. So not only like the St. Louis team to be just more aggressive going forward, he's going to bring players like him, players that are good on the ball, players who can score goals, players who are going to bring you that extra experience. As we see in the roster, we have quite a bit of a few foreign players. So look for him to do a great job bringing players and bringing this St. Louis team together.
Dalgard's cross broken up as he attacked from the left side. Preki has made such a difference in the way that this team goes about their business. Wes Sharpie, a young man out of the Tampa Bay area, the Clearwater Chargers and University of South Florida, pathway here to the USL. Wes Sharpie wearing number 22 here tonight for St. Louis FC. Now working with Bjurman, Mats Bjurman, former UC Irvine star. This one taken away, and Ottawa trying to get a run going of their own. Collision on the far side. Matt Sheldon wearing number 13 tonight for St. Louis FC. formerly of the OC Blues. Sharpie again, bottom of your screen, number 22 sets up Stoichkov.
And you see Sharpie just all the way to the left flank right here on the touchline. They're going to use the width, something Preki, I'm sure, is going to emphasize. Just open up the field, use the width. A big field, every bit of 75 yards, but about 110 to 115 yards. And I like San Luis' movement off the bat right away. They're moving the ball around, trying to create some space, trying to find those gaps going forward.
St. Louis coming right back now. This is Petrosevic, the Serbian, inside the box, and the goal to start for St. Louis. Off to the fast start, 1-0 here early.
Outstanding finish right there, but what about that ball? Good job by San Luis, just knocking the ball around. And as we said, they were going to be a very, strong-minded team going forward. The 1-2 combination there. Just with a great left foot finish in the corner. Nothing the goalkeeper, Irving, can do to put San Luis up 1-0 in the scoreboard. It's always great when you score in the first 5 minutes of the game.
And they really needed an early goal to get the crowd into this game. Just a festive atmosphere here tonight. So in the 5th minute, St. Louis makes it a 1-0 contest.
Mirkovic with a goal. Ovaleski actually with a great finish. Top shelf, far post with a left-footed. Just to put up St. Louis 1-0 early in this match. And just look at the movement on and off the ball from the St. Louis side.
Attacking once more. And this shot just a little bit high, and that'll bring the goalie out for Ottawa.
So another forward is going to be very busy tonight. Milan Petrosevic is the other forward for the St. Louis side. Ottawa playing a little more of a play the ball up front, looking for their target forward because they're playing with 3, so they're going to be playing a little more direct. More of a long shot where St. Louis, they like to build the ball, they like to play the ball on the ground.
Well, that game was huge, Eddie, for this St. Louis team because keep in mind, last week they did not score a goal. They went 90 minutes with a clean sheet, and they didn't allow any either, but to come here at home and to put one in the 5th minute is huge.
Andrew Campbell doesn't bring the ball down. You're right, Drew. Just being able to score, especially at home. They were on the road, and on the road it's tough to get points, it's tough to get goals. But here, it just sets the pace right there. When you score a goal in the first 5 minutes, right off the bat, lets your fans, home fans, know what you're expecting out of your team.
Now St. Louis will play it back. Gork will send it downfield. These two teams did play in the preseason. Ottawa winning in that contest in a 2-1 game.
Great switch of attack right there, point of attack. And I like the fact that San Luis is using all the space. Look how quickly they move the ball.
Well, a good job distributing here. Stoichkov sends it back. Now Ledbetter plays it forward as running it down will be Campbell.
Yeah, Campbell has been pretty busy in that left wing. He's had a couple of good runs down the line. Look for him to get to that in-line, get some quality crosses. Predominantly a left-footed player. He can go strike the ball with his right foot pretty well. He'll be one of those very active players for this Ottawa Fury side.
Jonathan Barden sends it back. They're counting on him big time this year. Taken away again. St. Louis attacking. Stoichkov gets it ahead. Attacking from the right. Another shot and another goal. St. Louis FC comes out smoking.
Cito Sanoa with the 2-0 for St. Louis. And give credit to Stoichkov, who stole the ball right in the middle of the field. Ottawa Fury giving it up in a bad space. Plays a great ball for Cito, who takes a great touch and puts it far post in the back of the net for San Luis, making it 2-0. Once again, Stoichkov's right there, plays the ball. Into space. Far post right there, nothing the goalkeeper could do.
That's Mats Bjurman on the goal. Bjurman able to score for St. Louis. So it was Bjurman coming through. They credit Stoikov with it, so it will be Stoikov, number 8. So in the 11th minute, St. Louis comes through, and already a 2-0 score. If you are Ottawa right now, you have got to be shocked.
Absolutely. They have a good chance here in this corner kick. Left-footed in-swinger. You're right, that's by their number 10. But you're right, if you came into this game and they're all of a sudden down 2-0, it's definitely a shocker. Good ball into the box. And Ottawa puts one away to make it 2-0. 2-1 rather.
Having a few technical difficulties. We apologize as we get that sorted out. A goal by the Ottawa Fury has cut this St. Louis lead in half.
Just what you needed from Ottawa, though. You needed that response right away. Just when St. Louis goes forward to the attack, and they put 2 in the back of the net in the first 10 minutes. Ottawa responds in that corner kick. Good left foot in swinger by their number 10. And that ends up in a goal for Ottawa, making it 2-1. And they're back in this game.
Eddie, we talked about the indoor experience of Preki, the St. Louis head coach. This has the feel of an indoor game right now, doesn't it?
Absolutely, going back and forth. And that was Bruna with that corner kick. We see Campbell working on the touchline against 2 defenders from St. Louis. That's Matt Selden, who gets the ball at the end. Campbell does not like the call, the captain. But you're right, Drew. This has the philosophy of an indoor game where you just go back and forth, a lot more points. We see actually Gerardo Bruna gets credit for that goal.
Fury sent it downfield. Now another shot, and a tremendous save that time by Gorick, showing why he is one of the top 5 goalies in the USL.
Outstanding save by Gorick because the ball was coming down. It was dipping right at the right moment. And it was a great early shot as well from the Ottawa forward. Once again, corner kick, left-footed in-swinger. Got out of the Bruna on the corner kick. He did it once already. See if he can do it again.
This one put in a pretty good spot, but Gorick is right there to reel it in. So Gorick, a USL all-second teamer a season ago, went to the playoffs the last 2 years with Colorado Springs. He is a difference maker in the net this year for St. Louis. Love the energy that St. Louis FC has come out on the field with tonight as Sharpie tosses it in.
Sharpie always looking for Petosevic. He's playing like a number 9, holding the ball, trying to flick the ball through.
Now Stoikov trying to post up just outside the 18. Sebastian Dahlgaard, young man out of Denmark. Spent 2 seasons with the OKC Energy. Cross fields with it. St. Louis doing a good job of spreading the field and staying patient. Now they'll attack from the right side, looking for the cross. It's there, but so is number 25, Lance Rosebroom, to head it away.
Yeah, great job by St. Louis, just building the play, taking their time, using the width. Combination play in the middle, they play the ball out wide, and then they get crosses into the box. And of course, the key is to get numbers as well. It's not just good enough to get a quality service. So we see Valesky, that number 9 right there, waiting for the ball in that corner kick. Bierman.
So here comes the corner. This is Sebastian Dahlgaard. Ball was put in a pretty good spot. The header not successful. A.J. Cochran tried to get it done as the sun has set here in St. Louis. And what a night. Tremendous energy here at Toyota Stadium at Worldwide Technology Park. Drew Felios and Eddie Rodriguez. We've already seen 3 goals, 2 by St. Louis and 1 by Ottawa.
That's the way you want to start the game. We talked about in the intros that this was going to be, a good game, close game. 2 very good teams. Campbell in the box. He dives. And the referee having a chat right there. Do not dive because that's grounds for a yellow.
Lots of contact that time. Campbell having the discussion. So now Gorick will play it downfield. How much of a difference, does it make to get a guy like this in the goal when you're a team like St. Louis that struggled last year?
It's huge. It's gonna give you that, the mental toughness in the back. It's gonna, as a defender, it gives you that confidence knowing that you have somebody in the back who can just clean house, right? You can just, is gonna keep you in the game at all times. So it's huge for a team to have such a great leader as well, and such an experienced player like the goalkeeper right now.
He is definitely that guy. He definitely has got to lead the way this year for St. Louis. And now Ottawa trying to get physical. And has got a whistle. And he'll set up St. Louis just beyond the midfield line.
And Mirkovic on the ball with a service. St. Louis doing a pretty good job just moving the ball around the field, using all the space and not really forcing the issue when he's not on. They don't mind playing that negative ball just to make sure they're able to keep the ball, keep possession of the ball, and therefore building out of the back.
Other names that are really going to pitch in for St. Louis this year. Talked about Gorick. Also Mirkovic, Guzman, Sheldon, Angulo. 2013, what a year he had in the USL, leading the league in scoring. And Stoikov as well.
Foul from Ottawa. St. Louis with a quick retake. Ottawa's goalkeeper, Irving, taking his time. Even though they're down 2-1, there's plenty of time in this game to make up the equalizer for Ottawa. The biggest thing for them is trying to find those gaps in the back from St. Louis, trying to get that rhythm. Bruna with a switch of attack, point of attack. Looking for that far sideline.
Now the Fury playing it backwards. Set it upfield now. And St. Louis, Mirkovic comes over to send it back. So both teams in the opening minutes going at each other, but now retreating just a bit. Looks like both teams kind of trying to slow the game down in their favor, but it's been unsuccessful. Stoikov loses at that time.
Yeah, and they're doing that to trying to get the control the tempo of the game. When you have possession of the ball, you can dictate when you go forward, when you dictate when you're going to try to play the through ball and try to get some space behind, or you just hold the ball, play that negative ball, keep possession of the ball, and of course you can control the tempo at any given time.
A.J. Cochran from right here in St. Louis. First round pick in 2014 of the Houston Dynamo. And the former Wisconsin Badger, he's wearing number 4 here tonight. See the Ottawa bench discussing things. Head coach Paul Douglas. High hopes this year for this young Ottawa team. Now Roseboom plays it over. Just inside the 18. St. Louis will clear it. And now St. Louis FC with a good attack. Dogguard. Little one-on-one. Comes back to the middle of the field to try and let one loose. St. Louis staying with it. Nice poise this time. Merkovic sends it outside. There's the cross. Ball is still live and finally won by Callum Irving.
Great job by the goalkeeper coming out and collecting the ball inside the box as we see a player down. The referee is coming to the sideline. There's McCleany from a while ago. He's saying that was the second one. He, of course, expecting a card.
McKillany, young Irishman. 6'3", great size. As Ottawa, that's pretty good size on their team. Tucker Hume goes 6'5". They also have Abassi at 6'4", a couple 6'3"ers in Venter and McKillany. Right now it's McKillany being tended to. And you see some of the Ottawa players kind of pleading to the officials, Eddie, maybe wanting them to call this game a little bit tighter because it's been pretty physical so far.
Yeah, no, that's one of the things that happens when you play in turf. You know, it's going to be a little bit tougher, you know, the roll, the bounce of the ball as well. So, you know, collisions, as we see the whole St. Louis team just kind of gathered together trying to get a little bit of better understanding of how to go against this Ottawa team.
Well, 2-1 is your score here in the 23rd minute. St. Louis with a 1-goal lead over Ottawa. Drew Velios alongside Eddie Rodriguez, the former MLS star. Eddie, great to have you along for the ride here, and for you and I, our first dose of USL action today here in 2017.
Yeah, no, great quality of soccer here in the USL. We talked about how much the league has grown in the last 15, 20 years and what it is now from what it used to be. So many more franchises, and now we have soccer-specific stadiums and how much the game has grown. It's great to see, you know, some of the teams that have come back into the league that went away, and now the reformation, if you will, of the USL. Got to give credit to the home office.
Petrosevic now working along the left side for St. Louis. Oh, good footwork that time, trying to get the cross in. Got some help there, trying to square one up. The shot is on, and it's just off to the left. Once again, St. Louis mounting a pretty solid attack.
Yeah, once again, St. Louis finding space behind, and it all starts with Petrosevic on the side, who crosses the ball. Great cross to the far post. A little bit of ricochet between the forwards from St. Louis, not able to get the shot on goal, but once again, they're finding those gaps behind, and that's very important for St. Louis. On the other side, of course, Ottawa, they need to tighten out the marks, especially in that semi-flat back four that they're playing.
Now St. Louis looking for one more opportunity. Good idea there, but just a little bit too tight a window for Stoikov to squeeze the pass through. But we were talking about, Eddie, about the popularity of this league, the USL, and the tremendous growth that they have seen. Ottawa, one of the 3 new franchises in the league this year, as we also welcome Reno and Tampa Bay as well.
Yeah, and of course all those teams coming from the old NASL, merging into the USL, what used to be the A-League back when I played in the league. It was everything under the umbrella of the USISL, which is now USL, of course. And as you know, Drew, now USL being the 2nd division from MLS, and it was announced this week that they're starting the 3rd division as well, USL 3. So it's great news in the development of some of these players. And of course, you and I have had a chance to do PDL games, which is the Player Development League, as well from the USL. So lots of chances now for players to play at different levels.
Now St. Louis able to control the tempo, and Ottawa getting a little impatient. Ottawa's been doing a lot of chasing so far, Eddie, up to this point. This is Bierman.
Dos Santos doing a good job coming back defensively. Bierman's been so active for the San Luis side. Always looking to get the ball. Always trying different things.
Take one more look at the shot that just happened. A little bit high.
Yeah, he was leaning back a little bit, so he got under the ball, but great run though through the middle. Once you do that, you got to be able to put your head down and drive the ball, try to get it on frame, on target.
You can sense a very hungry Ottawa team here tonight. I know they went down early, 2-0, but this team, the Fury, 7, 10, and 15 last year. Playing in the NASL, they had tons of injuries, lost many players from 2015. It was almost like an expansion team. They had to pretty much start over. And this year, I feel like they have got the good nucleus to really have success in the USL.
Yeah, and it's tough to start all over, trying to get new players and try to bring them in. And the biggest thing is they gotta match together. They gotta get that chemistry, and that you only get with minutes. You only get with minutes played, you know, whether it's practice or games. So it's difficult to start from scratch pretty much.
If you're a GM, Eddie, and you're trying to construct the perfect team here in this league, what's more important? Is it cohesion or is it talent?
I think both. You know, you got to bring players who are going to pay off in the long run, as we see this breakaway right here.
Bolesky trying to keep the ball with him as the header had a good idea on it, but it just came off high, off his head. It'll be another goal kick.
Yeah, great job by Bolesky right here. Look, he gets away from the defender, steps on the ball. That's a dummy, sends the cross to the far post. And the forward not able to make good contact with that header. But just to answer your questions, I think it's a little bit of both. You got to bring talented players. And as your season goes on, more practice and more games, you're going to get that cohesiveness amongst the teams and amongst the good talented players that you bring in. You got to bring talent for sure, though.
Now Ledbetter sends it out for St. Louis FC. And looks like we're going to have a corner kick here, as that ball was off the home team. And now I'm going to call it a goal kick, and not liking it very much is Cito Sione.
No, Sione was asking for a corner kick. The Ottawa defender was signaling that he's not the one who touched it. He let it go. Corey slips on the grass, AstroTurf. Doesn't quite get good contact, and the linesman's going to say that the ball never went out. As we know, for that type of kick, the ball has to leave the area, 18.
Sellout crowd tonight here at Toyota Stadium, Worldwide Technology Park. I'm Drew Felios alongside Eddie Rodriguez. If you come here tonight looking for a seat, looking for a ticket late, guess what? You're out of luck.
This is the place to be on a Saturday night in St. Louis, as we see another player going down, center mid.
That's Stoikov. Took a shot on the top of the head, the Yugoslavian. Played on the Macedonia national team. Here's one more look. Didn't quite see what happened that time.
There was a collision with Rosenboom, the big forward from Ottawa.
In case you're just joining us, St. Louis came roaring out of the gates, put a 2 spot on the board. And those 2 goals in under 12 minutes of action. But Ottawa came right back. And that is where we are at right now. 2-1 is your score here in the 30th minute. Callum Irving will put it in play for Ottawa.
St. Louis looking to get that width, building out of the back, 1-2s.
Ottawa will toss it in now. Ottawa's not really been able to get Dos Santos involved, number 8 for the Fury. With those 5 goals in the preseason.
Yeah, and Dos Santos playing more on the right side, more of a right mid, but he loves to make runs into the box, which is how he got those 5 goals in preseason. Look at St. Louis, 1-2s, trying to get behind the defense.
You know what, this St. Louis team playing extremely quick. You can certainly tell that they are well coached. Oh, there's a great save by Irving, who had to climb the ladder and got a hand on it just in time.
Yeah, you're right. Great job by St. Louis moving the ball around. Valesky plays the ball out wide. What this cross right here, a sitter right on his head. He rotates on that. Not able to get a lot of power on the ball though. And of course the goalie Irving having to drop back and just tilt the ball over the bar. Corner for St. Louis once again.
So who will do the honors for St. Louis FC? Looks like it's going to be Sebastian Dahlgaard, midfielder out of Denmark.
Good chance for St. Louis here in this in-swing right foot corner kick. Not enough juice to get there. Gets cut off by Dos Santos near post.
St. Louis still attacking, and coming out of the box is Irving to go up and get it.
Once again, another cross looking for Petosevic, who's been active, one of the forwards for St. Louis. Far post, looking to get the cross and looking to put his head at the end of that. There we see him in the middle of the screen. He plays like a number 9. He's a big guy. He can hold the ball, lay it off. Here we see him out wide, but he's so talented, good on the ball. And of course, right on cue, he puts the ball out of bounds.
Always works out that way, doesn't it?
Always does.
Yeah, take a look at Wes Sharpie. Young man out of your neck of the woods, Eddie, Tampa Bay area, where so many great young players come out of. Florida's certainly a hotbed for this great game. St. Louis also with heavy representation, players from the East Coast. Guys like Mats Bjurman, born and raised in California. Also Max Alvarez, another forward on this team. Lots of West Coast talent for St. Louis FC.
See Edward going down and getting the worst out of that tackle. Getting that very gingerly. And then we'll see their playmaker, their number 10, Gerardo Bruna. The only goal for Ottawa An in-swinger corner kick, Olympic goal. And of course, he's got the sweet left foot.
Jonathan Barden able to keep this one alive. And now some fancy footwork. Petrosevic, though, going to run out of room as the defense is there. Petrosevic nearly got that ball back.
Yeah, he nearly went around 4 guys. Never gave up, kept running.
You love to see that when you're a head coach, don't you? When your players just have that all-out hustle, don't you?
Absolutely. The fact that a couple of times he lost the ball, but he never stopped, though. He kept going.
Here's Ottawa trying to get one more chance here. And this ball sails over, goes off the big screen here at Toyota Stadium.
It's a good breakaway right here. He steals the ball out of the back. You know, fighting right there. Sidosoan once again, he tees it up. I think he might have broken that screen.
I think he did.
Don't worry, he'll get an invoice from St. Louis FC.
Sure he
there
will.
you see the screen. It's only half of the screen is lit now. And that is not going to be a cheap fix, as we see Preki getting off the bench and really telling his players how to recognize what's going on.
Eddie, what made Preki a great player back
You know,
in the day?
he was such a smart player, always 2 steps ahead. That's, you know, of course, he had a tremendous left foot, and he had a cut with his left foot that it was just par none. I mean, he could just do it at, it's almost like he knew it was coming and he could still do it. One of those moves that he patented, it was just the cutting with his left foot. Great on free kicks, just great left foot. He put the ball anywhere. Without left foot peg. Of course, an indoor player for a long time, and he was one of those all players that came out of Red Start, if I'm not mistaken. Just great team. He had a chance to play in Spain as well. His son was born in England, so he definitely did the tour as well.
Nice shot there, as Petrosevic been very active here in the first half. Shot it just a little bit to the left.
Now, Ottawa a little flat in this, you know, second half of the first half. This second 20 minutes, they've been a little bit flat. They were able to capitalize in that 2-1. They came back just when you thought St. Louis was going to run away with it. And there's that screen I was talking about. Just only half of that screen lit. Courtesy of number 11 from Ottawa, Sidosoan, who just teed one up right into that screen. As we see Dos Santos not liking the call, he goes down.
Yeah, a little bit shaken up. Stevan Dos Santos. Probably the top scoring threat on this Ottawa team. But Dos Santos, last year he was playing for Rochester, the Rhinos, and had a tremendous year. Rhinos are going to miss him big time. Had a chance to see them in action, Eddie, earlier today. What a match they had with Bethlehem FC, and one that went right down to the final minutes. The Rhinos get the game-winning goal.
That, of course, led by another great coach, Bob Lilly. 4-time USL Coach of the Year, great player out of the Harrisburg, Hershey area.
Near handball there, does not get called. And St. Louis will continue to attack.
St. Louis able to knock the ball around out of the back. And they're trying to find the gaps. 1-2 is just going to the middle.
Oh, there was a shot just outside the 18. And now it's Bruna handling for Ottawa. Now play to the outside. St. Louis FC trying to set something up once again. Marked very tightly, though, this time. Matt Sheldon sends it out of bounds for the home team. So now in the 40th minute, St. Louis still with a 2-1 lead. Ottawa's not really been able to establish any kind of offensive flow. They did have the one goal in this half, Eddie, but aside from that, you haven't really gotten any consistency on an attack.
Yeah, you're right. Consistency is the key in that statement right there. Not able to put the ball down on the ground and get anything going offensively. Of course, St. Louis being the home team and getting used to turf as well, they've done a better job collectively coming out of the back, 1-2s, and going forward with the ball. Dos Santos, big guy right in the middle, fighting. He's a player that he finally gets the call right there. Stoichkov does not like the call.
Now Bruno directing traffic from the midfield.
Gerardo Bruna, probably one of the most talented players in this Ottawa squad. Left-footed player, just has great vision. There you see him on the ball with a little dink, looking for the forward right around the 18.
Now they play it forward. St. Louis on a counter. Mirkovic upfield, and the defense retreats quickly for Ottawa. Sharpie active from the onset. So is Petrosevic, who has handled a lot for the team in white.
Yeah, Petrosevic, that's a good job playing number 9. Post up forward, even though he's wearing 25. Very, elusive. He looks like he's not really quick. He's got that slow pace, but once he turns on the jets, he's able to get behind the defense. He does a good job just holding the ball for this St. Louis side, laying it off. Just very smart player up front for the St. Louis team.
There's Mirkovic. Now Sharpie. St. Louis content to possess and pass here in the final moments of the first half.
And Sharpie's been all the way out here. You see him on the ball right here on our bottom line.
Now St. Louis.
Look at Sharpie asking for the ball out wide. He gets it. He's just got loads of time right there.
And some space to work with as well. Goes deep into the corner. Is that the place you want to be at?
Yeah, you want to be as wide as you can when you're playing that outside. Made a great run right here in the box.
Dahlgaard, ball sails out. And let's see if we have a corner kick coming up here.
Sebastian Dahlgaard with a great through ball. He gets in the box, not able to cross the ball. Here we see the dribbling abilities by Dahlgaard. Goes around traffic, 3 players. And then very last second, great recovery right there by that number 2 defender from Ottawa, Bardine. At the very last moment, corner kick chance for St. Louis. Right foot in swinger.
Ball's put in a pretty good spot in the box. And still alive.
And the referee call some kind of contact in the box. Well, 43 minutes, Drew, and St. Louis looking pretty good. Looking very comfortable on the ball, on the pitch, swinging the point of attack. Courtesy of that man right there, number 8, Stoichkov in the middle, who's had most of the better play. And of course, Christian Valesky as well in the middle. Bierman on top. And Mirkovic, one of the standout midfielders for this St. Louis FC team.
Irving gets his hands on it once more as we near the end of the first half of play. Well, Ottawa did not know what hit them in the opening minutes, but the Fury have slowly settled down. It'll be interesting to see if they can equalize this match in the second half, because it looks like just looked like a much better cohesive unit here the second part of the first half.
And I'll tell you what, thanks to that man in the back right there, Irving, Callum Irving, who's kept this Ottawa team in it. He's had a couple of great saves. If not, the score would be, more than 2-1. Petrosevic offside, so he decides to leave the ball. Therefore, the referee's not going to call it. Preki would love to go into the locker room with his one goal lead, 2-1, of course. Once again, Dos Santos getting the foul there, and I'm not sure if that was a big dive or not. All the Ottawa players, of course, not happy with the foul.
Well, that is not where Ottawa wants their top goal scorer to be. Steven Dos Santos spent a lot of time on the ground here in this first half.
Well, I think that's a little bit cultural as well. He dives every time. And it's very frustrating when you're playing a guy like that dives all the time. Of course, as you can see, he tries to sell it. Sell the foul. He got the foul in this case. I'm not saying there wasn't contact, but was it contact enough to call the foul?
A little bit shaken right now is Steven Dos Santos. First year with the Ottawa Fury. Here's a shot now. Trying to put the goalie on the move. The ball is just about clear. Went off the post. And tell you what, St. Louis very lucky that did not tie this game.
St. Louis very lucky that Ottawa did not put the 2-2 right before that halftime. Gorick. They said you have to be a little bit lucky to be a goalkeeper. Well, Gorick can testify to that. Ottawa pushing forward, trying to get the equalizer. Dos Santos puts the ball over the bar. The referee had called a foul right inside the box.
St. Louis FC, a few defensive issues here late in the half. As Ottawa doing their best to put as much pressure on the home team as possible.
Yeah, you definitely want to tighten that up, especially the last few minutes of the half when you know you can go into the intermission 2-1 up. You do not want to give up a silly goal right there this late in the game.
And that will do it, the end of the first half here in St. Louis. So an interesting first session from Toyota Stadium at Worldwide Technology Park. 2-1 is your score. St. Louis FC with a lead over Ottawa Fury. Coming up at the half, we'll have highlights, we'll have stats, and a special feature on the opening week in the USL. That's coming up right after this from St. Louis. Welcome back to Toyota Stadium at Worldwide Technology Park, home of the St. Louis FC, as they lead the team from Ottawa, the Fury, in their first season of USL action. 2-1 is your score. St. Louis FC with the lead, and there was a huge acquisition in the offseason for this great franchise. The new head coach, Preki, arrives in St. Louis, and oh, what a find he has been.
I thought this was a good job. I thought it's a good club and a club that's on the move in a lot of different ways, but I had no idea that we're going to have the depth of candidates that we ended up with.
Jeremy's phone was ringing off the hook, my phone was ringing off the hook, and so we quickly had to set up a criteria and a real process to make sure that we sorted through this the right way.
I was most excited about the opportunity to demonstrate to our partners our true commitment to driving results for them. And increasing, I think, the ability for us to leverage in the marketplace our brand name.
I think most of us were looking for somebody that had past experience, professional experience, has also been a proven winner at different levels, and I think we found our guy.
The new soccer coach for St. Louis FC for the year 2017 is Predrag Radosavljevic, affectionately known, fortunately for all of us, as Preki.
Early on, he was someone that we had on our list, but also someone that they reached out. And, you know, look, you're talking about someone who's played for the national team, that had a storied playing career, and then, you know, was able to carry that over into the coaching world. And there's a lot of players that attempt to make that step into the managing and coaching role and aren't able to have success, but Preki has.
Well, the one single thing that everybody discussed with us and that Preki was so passionate about was just the special opportunity that's here. Everything positive that's going on, if we can add a winning team to that recipe, that the sky's the limit. And I think he shared our passion for wanting to realize that and see that come to fruition. And so when we talked and exchanged ideas on what a winning team could mean here in St. Louis, it was contagious, and I think we all knew at that point we had a fit.
Thank you very much for this incredible reception. The only way that we're gonna do this together, that we're gonna do this thing, is gonna be together, off the field and on the field. I can't do it on myself. People, let me put it right away to you. But with the great support, like I feel I have here, I think everything's possible.
He's going to run a tight ship. It's going to be a tough preseason training camp, I believe, just because that's how he is, that's how he was. So I think they better come in prepared and be ready to go from day one.
Jeremy and Preki had very honest conversations about what they both wanted to see and how they wanted to get there. And once I saw that, I knew that we had a guy that could work with our team, and I think we can build something special.
One thing I'm gonna guarantee you, no matter what, we're gonna be attacking football style.
If you get in the playoffs, you have a chance. And, you know, we felt all along that we had a playoff team, that we had the talent to get to the playoffs, and that we should have been there. And I would give Preki credit. He was one of the candidates that said, look, we're not far away. We need to change some things, we need to add some things, we need to tweak some things, but we're not far off.
Are you ready to win? Yeah! Well, I am. A lot of great players came out of this city. We have an obligation to make it right, and we will do it.
He's confident in himself and what he's going to create here. And he's also done his homework. He knows what we have and what we need, and you know, I think he's gonna give us that push that we need to be playing, you know, in October. And I think people in St. Louis like their sports teams to play in October, so that's what we got to do.
Yeah, Preki has already made a tremendous difference in this St. Louis FC franchise. The results already showing. 2-1 is your score. St. Louis over Ottawa. When we come back, we'll take you around the league of the USL. Show you all the happenings in Week 1 when we return here to St. Louis.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
As we enter week 2 of the USL season, let's take a look back at 2017's opening weekend. The Kings Cup started us off where St. Louis took on a new look under the helm of Preki and with only one returning starter. The game ended up 0-0 as Louisville FC couldn't take advantage of their 16 corner kicks. Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 controlled most of the game's possession, but with their high-pressure Galaxy 2 were able to take advantage of a Vancouver own goal and slipped away another to come away with a 2-0 win. 6 goals, 5 yellow cards, 2 PKs, New York Red Bulls 2 and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds played to a 3-3 draw as Corey Hertzog impressed with 2 goals, including the Riverhounds' opening brace of the 2017 season. A record crowd of 8,021 in Richmond watched their home team defeat the Harrisburg Islanders 1-0. Goalkeeper Travis Warwick kept his team in the game, denying a Harrisburg PK in the 13th minute, and the Kickers responded with Connor Shinovsky's dominant set-piece goal in the 51st minute. The 25th home opener for the Charleston Battery ended with a 2-1 win for the club over FC Cincinnati, thanks to midfielder Justin Portillo, who notched an assist in the opening win along with the go-ahead goal. The Tampa Bay Rowdies opened their inaugural USL slate against a familiar foe, Orlando City B. In front of a large sellout crowd, they set a new attendance record. George Ristoff, the club's all-time leader in goals, slipped a PK right up the middle in the 57th minute in order to seal the win for the Rowdies. 3 seasons, 3 opening day wins for the Tulsa Roughnecks as they routed the Colorado Switchbacks 4-1. Colorado got on the board first in the 17th minute thanks to Shane Malcolm, but Tulsa responded with 4 unanswered goals to take the 4-1 win. Duke LaCroix and Carlos Alvarez connected twice to lead Orange County SC with 2 goals and 2 assists apiece to spoil Reno 1868's opening game as a member of the USL. Coming off a 2016 trip to the USL Cup Finals, the Swope Park Rangers found themselves behind Oklahoma City Energy FC in the 24th minute, but responded with 3 unanswered goals to win 3-1 in their home opener. 6,890 fans were in attendance to see the inaugural game at Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex, but Jay Chapman set up Ben Spencer in the 8th minute as he tucked away the lone goal of the game to give Toronto FC2 the win. The Real Monarchs opened their season with a 2-1 win over Portland Timbers 2, taking advantage of corner kicks by netting both goals off Charlie Adams set pieces. An early goal for Seattle Sounders FC2 in the 5th minute wasn't enough for the home team to hold on, as Sacramento Republic FC responded with 2 second-half goals to get the 2-1 win on the road. HEB Park was the shining moment for RGV as too little too late was a storyline for the Toros, who found their momentum late in the second half but fell 1-0 to San Antonio FC. Billy Forbes notched the game winner in the 15th minute, giving San Antonio their first win in the South Texas Derby. And that's your look around the league for USL Network. I'm Morgan Conklin.
Welcome back to a festive night here in St. Louis, Missouri, Toyota Stadium at Worldwide Technology Park. Drew Felios, Eddie Rodriguez. St. Louis FC a 2-1 lead over the Ottawa Fury. Let's take a look at some of the highlights after one half of play. Eddie, St. Louis came out of the gates and they were absolutely smoking.
Right off the back, this through ball right here. What about this number 9, Christian Valesky? Great finish, gets around the defender, top shelf, left-footed finish. Nothing the goalkeeper Irving can do for the 1-0 for St. Louis.
Crowd immediately into this game, and that really set the table, set the tone for St. Louis FC, and they came right back. Stoichkov leading another run.
Stoichkov starts his run right there to that number 11. Once again, Bierman with a great finish to the far post to make it 2-0 for St. Louis early in the first 7 minutes of this match.
So Valesky and Bierman teaming up for the home team. Meanwhile, Ottawa trying to gather themselves. They did just that. Were able to put a goal in a few minutes later.
Courtesy of Gerardo Bruna off of corner kick. As we see the St. Louis players coming back. How about the stats here? Look at that number that jumps right there. 71% for St. Louis. That's what they do. They do best. You know, and that's some of the things that Prek is going to bring to this side. He's going to push for the possession, and that's what you want out of a good team. Build out of the back, go through the middle, use the outside if you can, your outside wingers. Get some crosses in, and of course create some chances.
Have not had any cards in this match so far. Somewhat a clean game. We did have a few collisions in the first half, and saw Ottawa trying to sort of work the officials. I don't think that they feel this game is being called in their favor up to this point.
Yeah, Dos Santos doing some of that, calling towards the referee. A couple of dives from him. But the other, difference right here, look at that, 10 shots from St. Louis to only 6. The difference is the quality shots for St. Louis, they're on frame, most of them, as opposed to the very elusive 6 from the Ottawa side. The Fury, one doesn't count when they broke the screen.
Take a look at St. Louis FC, Eddie. What player has really impressed you when you look at the home team? Which guy has really stood out to you? Because we heard so much about these guys coming into the match.
Yeah, no, there's a couple. Definitely Mirkovic, the center mid, has done a great job. Sharpie out wide. Petosevic, their number 9. And, of course, great finish by Valesky, that number 9. And number 8, Stoichkov, very busy at center mid. So I always have to say between Stoichkov and Mirkovic have done a great job keeping possession of the ball for this St. Louis team.
Our official places it center of the field. We're just about set to go for the second half of play. Callum Irving in the goal tonight for Ottawa faced a onslaught of shots in the opening minutes. And St. Louis fell off just a little bit, had a few defensive breakdowns towards the end of the first half. Ottawa building some momentum. Let's see if they can continue to build that throughout the second half. This is the home opener tonight for St. Louis FC. Remember, they had a draw last week to Louisville City. Not able to score a goal, but they've certainly made up for that tonight.
Looks like Ryan in the middle of the field. They're just knocking it around, waiting for the referee to get there. Dos Santos, another player from Ottawa who's been very active.
They're staying loose on both sides. Now Valesky, young man out of Henderson, Nevada, proven goal scorer. Counted on big time this year, and we're underway here in the second half. So the key for Ottawa in the second half, Eddie, would be to do what?
For them, they got to keep possession of the ball like they did in the first half and choose when they want to go forward. They're very good at the attack. Petosevic on top, it's a great forward who can post up, who can hold the ball. And then Valesky, it's a great finisher. So for them, they got to keep possession of the ball, create their chances only when it's on, though. You don't have to keep going and then lose the ball. As we'll see another good chance right here for Ottawa in a corner kick. I'm sure it's going to be Gerardo Bruna on number 10. Yep, there we see him on the top of the screen. That's how we scored that 2-1 in the first half. He's got the great left foot in swinger.
Bruna, low line drive inside the 6 and just out of bounds. That was a golden opportunity for the Fury to equalize.
Great ball into the box, as I mentioned, trying to look for Dos Santos, who had a change of cleats at halftime. Didn't like the bright orange ones. That did not work for him, so he's hoping this to be the difference.
Ball deflected out of bounds now. And Jonathan Barden will head over to toss it in for Ottawa. Keep in mind, these two teams did play in the preseason. Ottawa winning that game 2-1. It was a solid preseason for the Fury. This will be a huge win here tonight in hostile territory.
Edwards looking for Campbell in the back. Eddie Edward doesn't quite connect, and St. Louis come out of the back with the ball under possession.
Comes the Fury once again. Eddie Edward not really been able to get it in stride where he wants it up to this point.
No, and he's a pretty impulsive player, pretty strong. He's like Dos Santos too. Type of players who can hold the ball, and we really haven't seen him get the ball a lot. Bruno does not get the call. Here comes St. Louis.
Now Valesky attacking. Wes Sharpie also playing the far side here in the second half. Stoikov in the middle of it as well. Austin Ledbetter, homegrown talent right here in St. Louis, drafted by FC Dallas earlier this year. Kind of see two different approaches. Seems like Ottawa is kind of going fast and furious, almost playing a little bit reckless. Meanwhile, St. Louis a lot slower, Eddie, a lot more content, working very methodical.
Well, and that's what I was saying, that's what they need to do. They need to keep the ball as they're doing, switching to point of attack, utilizing all the space through their flanks, and then when it's on, they can use that speed to get through. But in the meantime, Drew, here's the reason why I said that they're controlling the time and they're controlling the score. They're out 2-1, so they don't have to go forward. As we'll see, you see Preki getting off the bench. Bierman on that tackle. And Preki does not like the call. Right in front of the bench, of course.
As one intense coach on the St. Louis side. Preki won a USL championship back in 2014 with Sacramento. Anytime he has coached a full regular season, the result has been great. Now, once again, Ottawa continuing to chirp to the officials as another player goes down. Valesky also pleading his case.
Yeah, but Valesky's going to say that he's the one that got fouled first, and then you get into the whole he say, she said. Valesky right there. That's Edwards in the back, looking for the call and the card. Actually, that was Obasi, Thomas Obasi. Martin Del Campo asking where the ball is. He wants to play. There you go. Time is of the essence for this Ottawa side. You got to get the equalizer. We have plenty of time, but you do not want to waste time.
Keep in mind this Ottawa team, 9 returning players from last season. Meanwhile, St. Louis only 3. Completely new squad in white. Lots of traffic inside the 18. And you see Ottawa a lot more aggressive here in the second half, trying to get a chance.
Yeah, Ottawa's asking for a handball. The referee close enough doesn't call it. Dos Santos not able to receive that ball. He was turned around.
There's a nice shot, and it was Bruna. That ball sailed just a little bit to the left.
Yeah, he took a shot with the outside of his left foot, and therefore the ball just sailed away to the left. Goalkeeper in the back, Irving. Actually, Gorick, rather. With a good angle, watch that outside of his left foot, and see that's why the ball is curving to the left. The St. Louis goalkeeper got to that side, so the ball never had a chance to go in the back of the net.
51st minute, now 52nd minute here in St. Louis. Ottawa trying to equalize. Playing with reckless abandon here early in the second half. Just get the sense, though, this is the way they like it. This is their style of play. Trying to square one up. There's the shot. But Gorick is there once again. Another fabulous save for the St. Louis goalie.
Edwards once again with the ball right outside the 18. Gets a hold of the ball. Not great contact with the ball. However, he's able to make contact with the ball, just take a shot on goal. Gorick in the back with lots of time and lots of space as well right in front of him.
Now Matt Sheldon comes over to play it. St. Louis will once again settle things down. Very interesting to see which style of play wins out. Another player goes down again. Eddie Edwards. He spent a lot of time on the ground here tonight.
Well, it's a bad foul from behind. You can tell he lowered his shoulder right there. The St. Louis defender, Conrad, I believe it was, and Stoichkov does not like the call. There's definitely a foul. There's definitely contact there.
Good idea, trying to send it forward. Now Campbell. There's the shot, just a little bit to the right. As Ottawa again putting together a nice run, and Gorick was in trouble that time, Eddie.
Yeah, great ball by Campbell into the space to the number 11. Watch this right here. Cito looking for that far post, doesn't quite make good contact, but Cito once again knocking on the door. I like the fact that continue to go forward, and that's a good setup by Campbell. Goalkeeper Gorick had the near post cover. However, the far post, not so much.
Once again, you're watching the Ottawa Fury, one of the 3 new franchises in the USL League this year, along with the Tampa Bay Rowdies, alongside Reno FC. And Eddie, how about the early attendance figures from teams like the Rowdies making their USL debut last week? Just under 8,000 fans.
Yeah, outstanding. And you talk about teams like Richmond Kickers, who've been established for a long time in the USL. And the new team in Phoenix, the Rising, we saw them play earlier. Not able to get the result they wanted against the Real Monarchs. Of course, Frankie Yallop, rather, going into Salt Lake City, not able to get the result, but, you know, talk about the crowd. They get to play home the next 4 games in Phoenix, stadium that they built in 58 days.
Did you say 58 days?
I did. They're trying to break records there, and they have. So last week they had a sold-out stadium, 6,800 people there in attendance for their opening game.
Markovic retreats for St. Louis. It's been a while since St. Louis has had a good, solid attack. Kind of gone into a little bit of an offensive lull here, trying to wake up. Markovic lurking now closer and closer. Yes, the home team takes their time.
You don't want to sit back too much. I know you're controlling the tempo of the game by keeping possession, but at some point you got to go forward. The 2-1 is just not enough against a good quality side like Ottawa. So it'd be better if we just put 1 to 3-1 as to get a corner kick. There's a good chance for them.
So corner kick coming up for St. Louis FC. So much excitement coming into this season. Wholesale changes made in the offseason. And treating the fans to a win here tonight at home would go a long way. They're in the driver's seat right now, trying to hang on. This is Sebastian Dahlgaard with the corner. A little bit too low, sent out by the Fury. Dahlgaard looking for one more chance. A player in position, but Pedosevic couldn't control.
Yeah, tough ball for Pedosevic, especially because he's away from the goal, facing away from the goal. A very difficult thing to do, and turn and strike the ball. And Ottawa just playing the long ball into their target forward. Not the way you're going to beat this St. Louis team. Played a good, solid flat back four system in the back, and you know they keep that good shape. So anything long, you're just going to give it away to one of their defenders.
Talking about Phoenix, Eddie, earlier today, you had a chance to watch them. What did you witness? How good do you think that team can be?
They're going to be pretty good. You know, Frankie Yallop has got to figure out to get the ball to their big starter front. Mexican international Omar Bravo, who came out of Chivas, many games with the Mexican national team as well, and they were just not able to give him the ball. So we see this foul. No, referee says play on. Stoichkov in the box. So it's going to be kind of a learning curve. They got Wright, Mike Phillips from the English Premier League. So they got some great players in that Fury, in that team, that Phoenix team. They just got to put it together. They haven't had many games. And of course, it's tough when you're away. They had to play in the altitude of Salt Lake City, Utah. Not an easy thing to do.
Dos Santos had a tough night. Here he is working on the far side for the Ottawa Fury. And immediately, the ball now will go the other way. So Dos Santos has been a little bit frustrated out on the field tonight. And clearly, number 8 is a marked man because St. Louis, everywhere he has been, their defense has been.
Well, trust me when I tell you that Preki did his job, you know, as far as the scouting, the Ottawa team, and knows that Dos Santos is a good player, very technical. He's a big guy. He can hold the ball. So, you know, when you do your homework, 2 things you do. Either you cut the pass so he never gets the ball, or you double team that player. So a couple of things you do to, you know, minimize the damage against a great player. But in this game, you know, he really hasn't done much. So give credit to the St. Louis side and their tactical scheme because it's working.
Now Ottawa trying to put together another chance here. Roseboom gets him in position. And wanting a foul, they finally get it. And he's hitting the ground again was Eddie Edward.
Dalgard gets called for the foul. And Eddie Edwards has done a good job just collecting the ball and drawing that foul. It's a good chance right here for Ottawa. And once again, Gerardo Bruna, a left-footed player. He's going to cross the ball here. He's had a couple of good crosses in the first half. And, of course, he was the author of that first goal from Ottawa. So if you can get some numbers into the box, just a good quality service into the box can get the job done here.
Bruna, the Argentinian. 4 goals in the preseason for Ottawa. Left-footed swing, got some air under it. And the ball is near the goal. It does not go through, though. Somehow Gorick bailed out once again.
Gorick with a great save. And now he's talking to the linesman. He wanted a call, but we talked about the quality of the service and the importance of free kick and set pieces. Drew, you and I talk about it all the time. Great ball delivered by that number 10, Gerardo Bruna, to the far post. Ottawa, watch this. Ottawa was able to get ahead on the ball. And that big guy right there, Gorick, with a great save. Once again, keeping the St. Louis team in the game.
You can see why Gorick led Colorado Springs to 2 straight playoff appearances, and he is regarded as one of the top goalies in the league. He has really taken command here tonight. Callum Irving, meanwhile, not been challenged here in the second half for Ottawa. Not a lot of chances, not a lot of reasons to move. St. Louis FC, their offense is gone a little bit stagnant.
Yeah, I know you haven't really seen much.
Obasi, ball played out.
That's a good match right there. Obasi, the defensive center back for Ottawa, against that number 25 from St. Louis, Petosevic, who was very active in the first half. He might have been credited with that first assist.
Now things get pretty physical. Bruna had the ball taken away. This is Merkovic, right side. Petosevic had it kicked away from him. It'll stay with St. Louis. Crowd was electric in the first half. They've settled down just a bit. I think St. Louis would like them to get back into this game on their side because they kind of need a jolt of energy right now. Ottawa beating them to the ball several times.
Yeah, they do. They got to hurry up and get that intensity up. You know, you do not want to give up this lead. You're playing at home, home crowd. St. Louis one more time, just taking their time building out of the back. They're pretty happy with keeping possession of the ball and taking their time.
Ball guard down. Near the center circle. Now dribbles into danger. His teammate is there, Bierman, to maintain possession. Sheldon. Oh, nice move there. Dog guard just outside the 18. Help was there from Ottawa, but you love the idea. St. Louis with a good job.
Yeah, that's a great little spin right there by Dahlgaard, making the next defender and losing the ball, but just you see this good collision with Campbell.
And we got some players in pain right now. Merkovich took a nasty spill. Andre Campbell from Ottawa is also on the ground.
Well, Markovich might have rolled his ankle to the outside, but Campbell down as well.
So a player from both sides being tended to here in the 63rd minute. St. Louis has had a 2-1 lead for quite some time now. And we'll take one more look at the tie-up.
You see Campbell coming on the back with the ball and just get tangled up. And as he was going down, he came down hard on Merkovich is really hurting. Campbell's up now.
Have a situation like this, and we obviously have a stoppage in play. The players on both sides try and take advantage of that stoppage. You see, I think a much-needed breather on both sides.
Yeah, of course. You know, you try to relax for a little bit and get a little bit of water, hydrate. And these are a good time for you to kind of get your breath back. I'm not sure if Merkovich is really hurt. I mean, he's got hit by Campbell out of the back as he was falling. Not necessarily in intention of the foul, but
he's definitely walking gingerly. And I think he definitely got the worst of that exchange. Take a look at it one more time.
See, watch this. When Campbell is falling, that he falls on the leg of, you know, Merkovich, who was making a run. And I think he really landed on his ankle. Yeah, you see he's not going to be able to put much weight on that left ankle, Merkovich. This is definitely a loss for St. Louis, though, because he's one of those players who was very active.
Eddie, not only is he active, he's the team captain. The Serbian, previous stints with Sacramento and also the OC Blues. That's a big loss for St. Louis FC.
It is, and now number 17, Octavio Guzman, is coming in instead.
Guzman, Mexican, came over from the Sacramento Republic, had an 82% successful pass rate in the opener against Louisville.
Yeah, no, definitely a very technical player who's going to play center mid, good on the ball. As you mentioned, Mexican international player. So Guzman comes here for Merkovich. See if he can keep the ball as good as Merkovich was doing in this game. And as you mentioned, what they lose as well, Drew, is his leadership on the field. Merkovich, not only the team captain, but a player that Preck is very used to coaching. He coached him in Sacramento. And of course, when you develop those type of relationships, when you move on as a coach, you're able to bring some of your players that you know they're going to go to bat for you, that you know they're going to play, they're going to work out. You can bring it into the system that you want to play.
Here's Bruna now. Gerardo Bruna, the Argentinian. Cohesion has gotten better and better for Ottawa as this match has gone along, but that's a great play by Stoikov.
Great touch right there. Great tackle by Sharpie on the touch line. And you can tell that St. Louis doesn't have a lot of trouble coming out. They're able to do the 1-2s around the Ottawa players.
Here's Irving. Now St. Louis back to work.
First couple of touches by Guzman, and that's what he does best. He connects the dots side to side. Very technical player who hardly loses the ball, as you mentioned. He had a 83% rate. Look at him right there in the middle of your screen. He's going to keep the ball and play the ball out wide. That's a true number 6 right there. He's going to play in the middle of the park, but his main job is connect the dots. As you see him right there, he can play the negative ball. You see his hand right there saying just go out wide, use the width. At the same time, though, he will never stop running. Always constantly making runs.
Now just outside the 18, shot, and just not enough on it that time, but St. Louis FC with a pretty nice run, their best in quite a while.
Yeah, great build-up, and it all started with Guzman, who just came into the game, played the ball out wide, and did a couple of 1-2s in the middle.
Now a bit of energy from this crowd here in St. Louis. Guzman sends it back. St. Louis has led pretty much the entire way. And a goal in the opening minutes, and then once again around the 10th minute to make it a 2-0 match. As the cross this time taken in by Irving.
It's a good idea, though, playing the ball right into the space for Petosevic, who made a good run. Crossed the ball, nobody in the box, though. You got to bring numbers up, and now we see Campbell the other way, the breakaway for Ottawa.
Andre Campbell puts it in the air. And Campbell's shot is taken in, reeled in by Gorick. Campbell had 18 games with Orange County last season. A total of 971 minutes played in 2016.
The Toyota screen took completely off. That's going to cost a penny, huh? Courtesy of Cito in the first half. Unleashed the demons and hit the screen.
Eddie, you've been on the receiving end of a ball that was humming your way. People don't realize how fast and how hard some of these balls were struck.
Oh yeah, especially if you're playing in cold conditions here. You see everybody, warmed up and snow jackets and such. So even though the players are warmed up, and it's not a good feeling to get hit with the ball, especially in cold conditions.
Corner kick on the way. This is Gerardo Bruna. As Ottawa will get in position here. Tucker Hume, number 18, gets set. And just had a substitution. Sione comes out of the game for Ottawa. So Hume in, Sione out. And now St. Louis will win another ball. That is Stoikov once again, but he has it taken away immediately. Campbell trying to counter. And now they work from the center circle. This is Jonathan Barden. Del Campo. Callum Irving has really settled down in the net. 14 games with Rio Grande Valley FC last season. 8 clean sheets in that run. Here they come again. Constant pressure from Ottawa. That ball nearly snuck in. There was a lot of traffic around the top of the 18, Eddie, and I don't think Gorick, identified that ball until late.
Yeah, no, it's tough to see with so many legs, so many bodies in front of you. You know, finally Ottawa putting a good sequence of passes together. And, you know, what I mean by sequence is it's great when you can knock the ball around, but at the end of the day, you want to finish up with a shot. As we see that number 22 from Ottawa coming out.
Yeah, that's Jamar Dixon entering the game for the first time tonight.
That's Dixon, yep. Coming for Eddie Edwards, I believe.
So some fresh legs in for the Fury. See if they can capitalize here.
Well, this is when you want to make a sub, of course. Yep, Edwards out, Dixon in. Right around the 70th minute mark. So you want that player to get acclimated as possible to the game, to the rhythm of the game. And it's going to take you a good 8 to 10 minutes to get into the rhythm. So he's looking at playing just 10 minutes. On the clock, it looks like it's truly 19 minutes left. It's just, there's a little bit of a learning curve, and it's not so much technically, but physically, you got to get into the rhythm of the game. Everybody's playing at a high revolution, and you're coming off the bench. Great turn right there. Bolesky gets body checked right in the middle.
Roseboom sends it downfield. Now Ottawa, long pass, trying to get Campbell. He gets shoved in the back, and a whistle comes out. It wasn't a very hard shove, but enough from Matt Sheldon to draw the whistle.
Yeah, but if you're Sheldon, you have to know that Campbell got called for an offsides before the foul. So Sheldon got lucky in that call because he got called from pushing Campbell from behind. However, Campbell had been offsides first, and that's what the referee called.
You saw the way that Sheldon reacted. It's almost like he knew that he committed a foul. I got lucky that time.
Yes, you know, when same thing here. As you see, climbing the ladder, but all over the St. Louis forward. I'm surprised he didn't call that one.
A lot of bodies colliding here over the last few minutes.
And now a St. Louis forward down.
Ottawa attacking once again. Obasi. Nobody was home that time. Campbell comes up to bail him out. Here come the Fury once again. Campbell tries to cross, leads him a little too far. Now St. Louis from the far side.
Tell you what, Campbell's done a good job for the Fury in the second half, making that run out of the outside mid. A couple of good runs, a couple of good crosses he's done. Octavio Guzman proving to be that percentage passer for St. Louis. And he just connects the dots back and forth, never truly loses the ball. He plays like a true number 6.
Keeps his composure, doesn't he?
Absolutely. I'm sure that's something Coach Preki appreciates, bringing a player in who's going to keep the ball. Here we see him once again. And it's so obvious the way he passes the ball, but yet again, so efficient and so effective.
Here's Sheldon. Matt Sheldon trying to squeeze a pass through. Does just that. Pedosevich trying to wind it up, a shot on hand, and this blast a little too high.
It's too high, it's a little too far. If you're going to take the shot from there, you got to drive the ball. You're talking about 30 yards out. And of course, the goalkeeper Irving in the back with plenty of time to see the ball, and that's why you got to drive the ball. So it was a good build-up, though, coming out of the back. Sheldon making a good run, and on top it was Pedosevich, lays the ball off. This shot just sails wide and high for St. Louis.
And now a player down for Ottawa. immediately being tended to. I believe that's Gerardo Bruno. Been a big factor here tonight, especially in the second half. As we are in the 77th minute, we are nearing the stretch run and had several players down here as the second half has gone long.
Yeah, Manesio is going to come in. They're not sure if their number 10, Bruno, is going to be able to continue. I know he's been helped out of the field. You see him limping with that left foot, not able to put a lot of weight on it.
So Bruno will come out, and this is Sergio Manesio, of British descent. First year in the USL playing with the Fury.
We'll see if Manesio is going to be able to make an impact. And Alvarez coming in for St. Louis. Milan Petosevic, who got a great game for St. Louis, comes off.
Kept alive by Bjurman. As Alvarez comes in for St. Louis, then take a look at Petosevic. Done great work tonight, Eddie. Really been involved for St. Louis FC.
Yeah, he was just on all night. Just made a lot of runs.
Now Dahlgaard leading the attack.
And St. Louis continues to just keep possession of the ball. They're pretty good shape in the back as far as the way they're coming out of the back going forward and not letting Ottawa just attack the space and the gaps. Got to tell you though, if you're Ottawa, you're running out of time, Drew. If you're going to tie up this game, at some point you got to go with a second forward, third forward, trying to muster some offense here because you're playing away in a very hostile field, full of home supporters. The St. Louis-higans. And of course, from the word hooligans.
Shot taken in that time by Irving. Tell you what, Callum has really settled down. Was under fire in the opening minutes. It looked like it could get ugly for a moment. His defense has really helped him out as well, though. Andre Campbell. He's been battling all night long for Ottawa. 1-2 try, a little bit long. And now Obasi in the mix. This is what Ottawa likes, that helter-skelter, trying to really force the initiative. All they need is one to equalize here. Taken away in the midfield. And finally a whistle comes out. That's a great hustle play by Obasi. He made that happen.
Yeah, and that's going to be a yellow card for the newcomer right there. Max Alvarez, who was holding on to the jersey. You're right, though. Obasi made that whole play. Good run out of the back. Just when he was about to take off and get away, Max Alvarez decides to hold on to the jersey. And that's why he got a yellow card. I mean, he literally has been in the game for 3 minutes. Once again, we get to see it here. Watch that left hand on that 21 right there. He grabs onto the jersey. The referee close enough to see it. And he said, have a yellow. It'll be good for you.
Whenever you make a play like that, don't you want to make sure that the official maybe is shielded? Can't see it. He did it right in front of him that time.
Of course, you can't be so blunt about it in front of the referee because you're going to get your medicine.
Stoikov right in the middle of that center circle. Now Ottawa looks up at the clock, and again it's Obasi trying to get the Fury in position. Matt Sheldon retreats for St. Louis FC. Campbell inside the 6, now outside, and the Fury just cannot square one up. tell you what, St. Louis doing just enough to stay on top here in the 82nd minute.
Yeah, just to stay in this game. They're doing enough, especially defensively. They're down to the last 10 minutes of this game. So this is when you have to stay very connected, Drew, as far as just, the attention that you put on the field. You cannot fall asleep and give up a late goal here just to give Ottawa the chance to come back in this game. Just put them away. And you got to have the consistency of have that killer instinct at the end. And I guarantee you that you're going to see Preki preaching about that. Finish games.
Oh, physical there, crowd on their feet. Wants a whistle, not going to get it. We play on. Saw that whole corner of the stadium stand up after that last sequence.
Yeah, that was Valesky, who had plenty of speed, got around the Ottawa defender and then got pushed from behind. Here we see it, Valesky get in front. See that shove right there, number 4, Martin del Campo, with that extension of the right arm. Therefore, it's a foul. If you keep that elbow close to you, you don't fully extend. It's not a foul. You saw he dropped that shoulder and he made a full extension of that right arm, therefore being a foul. And all the fans in that corner side as well, so they got up and started complaining about it.
Inside the box now, Ottawa with another opportunity. Lots of traffic in there. Campbell just about 2 feet away from tying this game up. Obasi gets it back to him. There's the header. Deflected inside the box. Still alive and a goal! Ottawa has tied this game up at 2.
And that's exactly what I was talking about, not giving up that goal. And of course, that's all courtesy of the big man, Anua Thomas Obasi. Comes out of the back. Watch him right there, right-footed. He goes between 2 players. The goalkeeper cannot get to the ball. Gorick, you talked about when players in front of you, Drew, block your view. That was the case right there. You give credit to the big man out of Ottawa Fury, making a run out of the back. Not a lot of power, but just enough to put it behind the goal to make this 2-2, and I'm sure Preki is not going to be happy.
I'll tell you what, Eddie, there is plenty of time on the clock as well, and I guarantee you the Fury are going to look to take the lead here because we're going to should have considerable extra time because of the injuries that we had about midway through the second half. Both teams should give it their best shot here. Here's the shot. Irving there to knock it down for Ottawa.
Max Alvarez making a great run out of the back. The left-footed midfielder takes a touch inside, looking for that far top shelf. Not able to connect so well. The goalkeeper in the back, Irving, just waiting for the ball. You're right, though. There's plenty of time for Ottawa to come back and strike again. However, are you going to leave yourself wide open for St. Louis? We see contact in the box. The referee close enough. No foul.
Oh, surprised, Eddie. We did not get a whistle there. Looked like a player was clearly dragged down just outside the 6.
He does not, you're right, he does not call it, the referee, and you can see all the players from Ottawa wanting a card and a foul. You see the captain right there in the middle.
Oh, a yellow card dished out right there. Too much talking done that time as Del Campo was letting our official have it. And you saw Roseboom, the captain, come out and say, hey, guys, let me do the talking here.
And there's a big difference between Roseboom being the captain. He's allowed to communicate with the referee as long as he's not, using any obscene language. However, Del Campo comes out of the back. Ramon Martin Del Campo out of the defensive third, and he gets a yellow for dissent. Ottawa once again knocking on the door, Drew. They really want to walk away with 3 points here.
Now Dixon just outside the 18 as the ball's hammered out. Now St. Louis FC trying to put together some sort of counter, but as I said, they have looked like a team that has sort of run out of gas towards the end of this match. Would you agree?
Absolutely, and if you look at the intensity of Ottawa, now they're looking at like they got an extra fuel pack here. They've gone out in the last 10 minutes. They're going, full out. They've had some great chances. Even the chance prior to the goal, Drew, that could have been, another situation where they could capitalize and put one in the back of the net.
And I think that guy right there, Obasi, has been a big difference difference maker in this half. Number 14 right there.
Well, and you see the difference is that he's a defender, but he started going forward. Therefore, he's unmarked. He's what we call a plus player. Nobody's picking him up. Even in the goal, you see how alone he was right outside the 18. Nobody around him. He was able to make good contact with the ball, put it on frame, and now it's the 2-2 right here. Look at Preki, tight little linesman. I told you he wasn't going to be happy. He hates to lose. Like any other great competitor, absolutely hates to lose.
Such a fiery competitor. I guarantee he wishes he could suit up right now and take it on the field for St. Louis FC. Here's the Campo now.
Here's a crazy thing. He probably could. Very technical player. Maybe probably wouldn't run a lot. He doesn't have to run a lot. Free kicks right here. He can capitalize and win the game for Ottawa.
Now Campo gives it a long blast. Now 87 minutes in.
Ooh, you see the pulling of the jersey right there by the St. Louis defender. The referee doesn't see it. Now you're walking a tight rope right there.
And St. Louis, do they have one good counter? Left in them. Long run. And open on the right side. The shot! And a goal! Max Alvarez has given St. Louis FC the late lead, 3-2.
Outstanding job on Max Alvarez. Even though he's a left-footed player, he's able to get to the end and put the ball away. Give credit to the number 9, Christian Velasquez. He's the one that started everything. He took 3-4 players on, and now Prek is going to waste time. Watch. You can tell he's going to get subs in right here. You want to use as much time as you can. And right away, Velasquez was asking for his sub. But once again, watch. He makes a great run. Max, bad touch right there. He was helped by the man just came in. He's the one that actually put it in. Manesio. And I'm not sure if he's going to get credit with the own goal or they're going to give the goal to Alvarez. Nonetheless, we talked about finishing games. This is how you finish a home game.
What drama here tonight in St. Louis, and the fans love it. Toyota Stadium at Worldwide Technology Park. This is one of the best games of the day throughout the league in the USL.
Yeah, this definitely makes a good argument for match of the week in the USL. St. Louis coming back in the late second half, courtesy of Max Alvarez, a left-footed player who was able to capitalize with his right foot, actually. You know, thanks to Sergio Maniestra, who kind of dropped the ball right there. He could have just blocked the shot.
And now a whistle, Ottawa.
Look
very
at Campbell,
unhappy. And
not happy.
They have got to be
gets
careful.
A yellow. Dos Santos, not happy as well. And this is when the Ottawa players have to be careful. The retaliation here, you have a couple of players with yellow cards already. And you see Gorick cramping. Unusual for a goalkeeper, actually.
And now some of the staff will come out here as Gorick. Yellow card assessed to Ottawa just moments ago, and you are right, Eddie, for all the running that his teammates have done tonight. Gorick goes down with the cramp. It is a cold night here in St. Louis as Ottawa continues to work the officials, but I'll tell you what, right now, this late in the contest, I think you got to worry about collaborating with your teammates and figuring out how to somehow get one more chance.
But I tell you what, Dos Santos and Roseboom are right. You know, he's talking about there was a jersey pull in the box by the St. Louis defender, and absolutely I saw it. I said I was surprised that he didn't call it. He missed it. As we see one more sub, Tyler David comes in for St. Louis. Christian Velasquez, who was very active for this St. Louis offense, gets a well-rested 2-minute rest of that. We're at the 90th minute. And you're right, there's got to be at least, they put it there, +4 in stoppage. I would have given him +6. As they're still taking care of the goalkeeper. And I don't know if that was more of a, you look at him, there's nothing wrong with him. Goalkeepers don't do enough running to cramp up. Well, this is the first game that Preki needed at home. 3-2 advantage, St. Louis. And for their sake, we hope that they can actually carry this score for the remaining 3 minutes. If you're Ottawa, you got to hurry up and start dumping balls. You go with 3 forwards. That's the ball you want to play. Give yourself a chance. Nice little flick in the box around the 18.
Good idea that time. Just headed a little bit too far by Manicio. And once again, Gore covers it, and you can imagine how much he will take his time here.
You cannot imagine how much he's going to shave, at least 30 to 40 seconds per touch on the ball. And of course, he's got to be careful with not getting a yellow. But if you're Ottawa, you got to be able to figure out a way to send the ball forward as soon as you can. Get the ball, dump it. Go with 3, maybe 4 forwards going forward. I mean, you got to tie it up. It doesn't matter if you lose by 1 or 2.
Oh, dangerous play there.
We saw Lalo Fernandez from the Monarchs just win one of those. It almost cost them the game today.
Roseboom. I'm going to attack the middle of that field. McKillany. This unit has had a lot of success for Ottawa, but their back's against the wall here in the final minutes. Can they get one more opportunity? This is the right guy to do it. Obasi. More fancy footwork from him. He is being marked, though, very tightly. 2 and 3 defenders everywhere he goes.
I tell you, though, great technical ability for a defender. Oh, great chance for Ottawa. They put him over. The St. Louis defender is calling for the foul. I did say that Ottawa would get one more chance, and that could have been it. Right inside the 18, inside the box, and Ottawa not able to put the ball in frame. Just what it seems to be such a simple thing. Tyler David, I'm sure that was Campbell for Ottawa, not able to hit the net.
But you got to feel for Ottawa just a bit, Eddie. They were playing uphill throughout the entire night. They equalized it too, and then obviously continued to play aggressive, that reckless abandon that got him there. But then St. Louis picked the perfect time and was able to counter.
Yeah, all he took is one counter, and Guzman able to, actually Alvarez rather.
And once again, St. Louis FC with Alvarez as he goes down, and the whistle will come out. Alvarez.
And be careful, because this could be a red. He was the last defender. There you go. As I called it, red card. He happened to be the last defender. McLeany, and absolutely a good red card by the referee. Drew, when you let the last defender, you're stopping the other team from a great clear chance. Not the way Ottawa wanted to finish this game. Down 3-2. And this pretty much by now is going to pretty much end the chances for Ottawa by the time they take the time and watch that. If you look at that, he's the last defender, so Alvarez was way through with a chance to go to goal.
So Shane McElhenney, his night will come to an end, and that will just about do it for the Ottawa Fury. A valiant effort tonight for Ottawa, once trailing 2-0, but it's going to come up just a little bit short.
It's a good chance right here for Octavio Guzman. Right foot in swinger, right outside the box. Just put it on frame. And you can tell that was a play to try to keep possession, keep the ball inbound, so you want to kill the clock. That's why he opted not to go direct.
And now the Fury back down on the other side. Unable to gain control, and that will do it here in St. Louis. Toyota Stadium, and home fans can finally celebrate as their team had some bumps in the road tonight after taking a 2-0 lead, but able to fend off Ottawa, and a 3-2 victory for St. Louis FC.
A great job by Preki and his St. Louis side, especially first game at home. Great, way to finish your first game, because you're able to win with a good score against a good team, Ottawa make every intention to come back, and you see Roseboom still arguing about that jersey in the box. You're going to see Campbell doing the same thing. Obasi with a great effort putting Ottawa back 2-2. But give credit right here to Preki and the St. Louis FC squad winning 3-2.
Electricity tonight here in St. Louis. St. Louis FC, your winner. We're back in just a moment to Toyota Stadium to wrap this one up. A great scene here in St. Louis where they love their soccer. St. Louis FC victorious 3-2 over the Ottawa Fury. Drew Felios alongside Eddie Rodriguez. This is one of those matches where you just sit back and you know that we saw a great one here tonight.
Absolutely. We were waiting for a St. Louis crowd in a team to make it happen at home. Here are the highlights from a team that was possessed, and it all started from the back, looking for their top man on top. And what about this runaway right here? Valesky puts it away with a 1-0 top shelf. Great left-footed finish to put St. Louis up 1-0.
And then moments later, St. Louis goes right back to work. Crowd was into this match from the onset as Mats Bjurman. Take one more look at the goal by Valesky. Valesky gets it done. A little bit of dissension on the Ottawa side. And this was the one that made it 2-0. Watch number 11 on the right side, spring free.
Great shot to the far post. Driven shot low. But once again, Stoichkov is the one who starts stealing the ball from the Ottawa player at center mid. Starts at the attack right there. That's the key tackle right there. The combination 1-2. He goes up to the top number 9, Valesky. And a great finish by Bjurman, making it 2-1 for St. Louis.
This header, Irving got up, saved it from being goal number 3. And then Dalgard cut off. Ottawa looking for some sort of offense, but not able to equalize. Ottawa here trailing 2-1. He got chance after chance that he just knew it was a matter of time before the Fury would strike.
You can tell they were just knocking on the door, just going forward, trying to get some chances. Just when you thought the game was over, watch this. They started getting, that was still the left-footed shot outside. The goalkeeper, Gorick, had it covered, but this is the chance right here. The big man on top, number 14, puts it away. Obasi to make it 2-2. And this is when St. Louis thought, oh boy, not good. Plenty of time.
Right through traffic. And you see, Gorick didn't see it coming. So it's a 2-2 match And then just like that, St. Louis able to spring this free.
Just like that, Valesky goes on a breakaway, plays the ball to the newly come in Max Alvarez, and he puts it away, of course, with the help of Maestro, the defender from Ottawa, and that right there is the game, Drew. You saw the celebration in the corner by the St. Louis and all the fans. And look at the difference. Once again, the 63% jumps out in possession by St. Louis, just doing a great job coming out of the back and creating chances.
Just a great sight, the celebration by St. Louis FC towards the end of the match. One red card at the very end, assessed to McKillany for Ottawa. It was a very physical match. Shots, though, controlled by St. Louis. And the goals, in the end, one better. They get the points tonight. A 3-2 victory for St. Louis FC over the Ottawa Fury. We hope you enjoyed this telecast. For Eddie Rodriguez alongside our fabulous crew, I'm Drew Felios, St. Louis FC, your winner. So long from Toyota Stadium here in St. Louis, Missouri.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.